if you take the B part, he said he loved us, he washed us, and verse 6, he made us. Is that not the whole gospel? He loved us, he washed us, and he made us kings. Everybody say, he loved me. He washed me. So bump your neighbor and say, wake up now. This is in chapter 1, verse 4. John to the 7 churches, which is and which was and which is to come. We've just sang it. Can I write it here? Revelation 1. Now, he says, which was, everybody say was, is, and is to come. Can you see it's 3 different periods? Now, what I'm going to preach about tonight is to understand this present age. Now, which age do you think we are in? Of course, in the is one, because this is the now. Have you heard scriptures where it says, now faith is? Now the just shall live by faith. Your time is now. Your time is now. God is in forever. You are in the now. But now our problem is, what we do sometimes is we put ourselves there. And we put ourselves there and we never found our now. Come on, if you go back to John 11, you are the resurrection to come. If you were here. No, he says, I am. Everybody say, I am. Now Christ is for you. Okay, so we are in the now. But the now is only, you can only have it if you're in the Spirit. You have to be in the Spirit. Because he says, he that has an ear to hear. If you have an ear, hear what the Spirit says. Because the Spirit has a way of connecting the future and the past and the now. And it's like there is no difference. That's why the Bible is a book that you have to read. The Bible is a book that you have to read in the Spirit. That's why he says, if you have an ear to hear, hear what the Spirit says. Because if you don't hear what the Spirit says, you're stuck in Scripture. And the letter will literally kill you. But the Spirit gives life. So what the Spirit does, now the was is history. It's history. It's past. Now, is to come is future. And it must be all new to you. So you'll never understand it. It's new. I think if you really know what's happening, you will stop living, because I wasn't prepared for anything that came my way. But because of the Spirit, you can handle anything that comes. So the Spirit has a way of putting everything together, where the future works back to the now, the history works back to the now, and this is what's happening in the Bible. Because the Bible had history, and the Bible teaches us what's to come, and it speaks to us here, but it's like we can't dissect the Bible and we don't know what's going on in the Bible sometimes. You read things and you think, what praat hulle hiervan? And it's like really crazy, crazy, crazy. Have you ever thought about it like that? Then we have, in the middle of this all, we have us. And we must hear with ears by the Spirit. The Spirit must go in there. The Spirit must go in there. If you don't hear by the Spirit, you're so stuck in your situations that you cannot see God has actually a greater plan with you. You think you're just called to sit on a chair in church. But there was a world in the past, there's a world now, and there's a world to come. Because he talks about the ages to come. He talks about the ages in the past. But we are in the now. So the Bible has history that goes right to the past And it takes us in the Spirit right to the future, but it's a present thing. So the history that's in the Bible is applicable to me, although I'm not in that history. I've said it many times. I haven't got Goliath in front of me. I haven't got Philistines around me. Hey, Goliath is right in front of me. It's a big giant that's too great for me. And I'm standing here, God help me, how am I going to do this? This bank balance, this children, this wife, this boss, all our situations are these mighty giants. So all that history was there for us so that we can know we can have the victory. But we can't put ourselves there. It's spirit. It's spirit. So the whole Bible is actually not in our time. The Bible is not in our time. It's not in our time. The Bible is not in the past. The Bible is not in the future. The Bible is all over because of the Spirit. You see, and because we can't see that there is a past and there is a future, we're stuck in these pages. And then we start with our own interpretation. Prophecy is not for personal interpretation, because holy men of old wrote by the Spirit. The Spirit. Our portion is a life in the Spirit. And we have this thing that we spirit, flesh, spirit, flesh, spirit, flesh. We have little touches of it. But there's a generation, and I believe with my whole heart, this is why it's being preached now, that's going to go for spirit, that's going to do exploits, that everything that's in the Bible, what the eye have not seen, what the ear have not heard, what has not come up in the heart of man, the Spirit is going to put in us and is going to do it. And you're going to stop thinking, ja, maar dis net ek. It's not just me. I'm going to go to space. Why? Because it's impossible. You know as well as I know, it's impossible. How am I going to go to space? You know what? I'm not just going to go. Other people are going to pay for me. Why do you say that? Just because it's impossible. Because what is impossible with man is possible with God. But you see, what happens is, things happen to us. Situations come our way. And then we want to explain God with our situations. Could we? Maybe if you have situations, this is good advice from someone who did it. Throw yourself into God and get the answers. Don't try and explain God. How will the potter say to the maker, why have you made this? Why have you made that? Can we have God, God, and us, us? Okay, but if God is God and us is spirit, then us is God. Okay, have you got it? Have you got this picture? There was a world, there is a world, and there's one to come. Go read the Bible. You'll get it all over. Was and is to come. He says it 3 times in chapter 1. Everybody say, was, is, and is to come. So, in the Bible is was, is, and is to come. And in our